이렇게 시간이 안 가는지 정말 버스 안에서 going 이불 속에서 going은 언제나 너에게 going.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I will talk about what morphology is. Morphology is a part of the internal structure in linguistics. The term morphology originates from Greek, composed of morph, meaning shape, form, and logy, which means knowledge or the study of a subject or something. The term morphology itself was first used by August Schleicher in a linguistic context as a term to study the forms of words or how words are formed. Therefore, the study of morphology exists in various languages, not just in English, because words are the basic units of language. For example, in English, the plural form of a noun is often formed by adding s or es, like cat, it's become cats, and bus, it's become buses. Or in Arabic, plurals are often formed through internal changes in the word, like kitab, a book in English, become kutub in plural or books. Or in Indonesian, plurals can be formed by repeating the word, like example buku in Indonesian or book in English, it's become buku-buku for plural or books in English. Let's discuss the definition of morphology according to several experts. Kirsten McCarthy states that morphology is the area of grammar concerned with the structure of words and the relationships between words involved in the morphemes that compose them. Meanwhile, Yule mentions that morphology is the study of basic forms in a language, including research on how words are formed and how they are combined to form sentences. So, based on this definition from experts, we can conclude that morphology is the study of the structure of words in a language. The structure of words means that we learn about the parts of words like movements and how words are formed, like single lexeme through affixation, in like inflectional and reversional morphemes, and how words are formed, to productivity of words and how their parts contribute to their meaning. And morphology also studies the systematic variation in the form and meaning of words. In linguistics, morphology refers to how words are altered to convey different meanings, such as changing the form of words to indicate tense, number, type, or other grammatical aspects. For example, in English, adding ed at the end of the verb work changes it from present to past tense. And let's move to the morpheme. So, morpheme is the smallest unit of grammatical structure and the smallest unit that has meaning. This morpheme is part of morphology. Words like helpfulness can be broken down into morphemes, such as help, full, and this. We're gonna talk about this in the next explanation. So we can draw a conclusion about morphology is that morphology is the study of how morphemes combine to yield words. In morphology, we are also studying about words. So words, according to the Oxford Dictionary, a word is a single, distinct, meaningful element of speech or writing, used with others or something, sometimes alone, to form a sentence and typically separated by spaces when written or read. Thus, a word is a smallest unit of language that carries meaning. It is the basic unit of language that can be used to form phrases and sentences. Words are meaningful units of language that can stand alone. They can consist of one or more morphemes. For example, reconstruct is a word consisting of two morphemes, re and construct. and words can of course consist of more than two morphemes, such as unhappiness, unhappiness, and readability. It consists of read, able, stay, and unfriendly. It consists of unfriendly, and the last, unfriendliness. It consists of unfriendliness. So that's more than two or one morphemes. And next, affix, base, and roots. Affix, base, and roots are fundamental concepts in linguistics that help understand the structure and meaning of words. First, we're gonna talk about affix. So, definition of affix is are bond morphemes that attack to a base to form a new word. It can be prefix, which means add before the base, and it can be suffix, which means add after the base. For example, for prefix, in the word unhappy, un in the first word is indicate prefix. So unhappy, un is prefix. And the next suffix from the word walk, walk past tense, the ed at the end of the word, it is indicate of suffix. So that's. And next is about base. So a base is a word that can be modified by a fix to form a new word. For example, like cat, book, house, library, nation, and humanize. And roots is the core of a word that cannot be further segmented. That can be free roots or bound roots. Like free roots is standalone words, and bound roots is a part of a larger word. For example, of free roots, cat, run, eat, and for example of bound roots, sieve, like in receive, and use in reduce. A collection of morphemes forming a word consists of several different types of morphemes. Like inflectional and derivational morphemes are two types of bond morphemes in linguistics. And the definition of inflectional morphemes are bond morphemes that mark grammatical features, such as tense, like verb tense, in ed for past tense, and ing for progressive. And the next S for plural, and apostrophe S for possessive. So inflectional morphemes do not change the part of speech of a word, but rather modify its grammatical function. They are used to indicate the grammatical relationships within a sentence. For the next derivational morphemes, so derivational morphemes are bond morphemes also that can change the part of speech of word, like creating a new word with a different grammatical function. For, for example, like verb change to noun, read become reader. So this change grammatical function. And verb to adjective, like able, read become readable. And another example, noun to verb, like light become lighter. So derivational movements change the part speech of a word, creating a new word with a different grammatical function. They are used to form new words with different meaning. And after we talk about bound morpheme, now we're gonna talk about free morpheme. So in free morpheme, they are root morpheme, a morpheme that has meaning and can stand alone. For example, play, eat, person, dog, make, like that. And the another one is a fixed morpheme. that morphemes that requires another morpheme to form a meaningful unit. For example, like an, re, this, as, and ed. So that's all about the explanation of morphology. I hope you all understand about the material. And the last, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.